Hello everyone, it's Fun Size Sean. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for checking out my video. I want to talk to you about a few things, and welcome to the Not So Fun Size podcast. I know I've said I was going to start this soon and pushed it off for, I think it's been a year since I said I was starting the Not So Fun Size podcast. Things happened, I got really busy, and I don't know why I haven't made an episode yet. There's just a lot happening, but we're here today. Here's the first episode of the Not So Fun Size podcast. Before we start and get into the video and what the topic is today, I wanted to bring a little bit of attention to my shirt real quick. It was an early birthday present from my mom, and it's a catchphrase that I've been saying all along. I'm not short, I'm fun-sized. Works perfect for this channel. I mean, Fun Size Sean. This shirt fits it perfectly, and I've always said this as my quote around talking to anyone, and it just worked out way too perfectly. Enough dilly-dallying, I'm gonna get on to the video. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I know this video is probably gonna be long. I'm not too sure how long, but I've got a lot to talk about. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today was DoorDash. A lot of things going on with DoorDash, and more specifically, what I want to talk about today is the DoorDash boycott that happened on July 31st of 2021, and I want to talk to you about what it was, why it happened, and what the next steps are. How DoorDash is reacting to this, and just kind of talk to you about it. I made a whole list and a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you about on here because I'm forgetful. I wanted to make sure I had it all written down, what I wanted to talk about, so I didn't miss anything, or I don't know, just kind of skip around. I kind of wanted to give myself a template to work on. I don't know. Sorry, it's my thinking process. I just kind of talk out and kind of go from there. I don't know. Well, let's start. So, some of you may be asking what the boycott was, and well, on July 31st of 2021, Dashers decided to take the day off. They would not do any deliveries, and would not do it in hopes to get the attention of DoorDash. So the question is, why would Dashers want to boycott? What caused them to get upset? What caused them to want to boycott? Well, there's a lot going on going into it, but the final straw, at least from my knowledge, the final straw that really caused this started back on June 15th when DoorDash lowered the amount Dashers would make per order. Before the change, base pay was usually about $3 on average, and you could make almost like $7 for longer distance deliveries, not including tips. So, for instance, like I'll use my personal experience when I was doing DoorDash back then, before the update. Base pay was kind of like, for average, $3, maybe a little more, like $5 ish, maybe somewhere around there. And usually the customers tip were about, if they did tip, $2, $3. So you got a decent order when you saw it pop up with a $5 or more order. And those were typically accepted a lot because Dashers, well, as you know, we're all giving our time away and trying to make the most, and don't want to spend our whole time wasting time going through orders that don't give you enough and don't pay you enough. Our time is valuable, our gas is valuable, and if you're not, you gotta kind of see how much you're putting into it and how much you're getting back. Because if you're putting more in for paying more for gas and stuff to keep going than you are making, then using DoorDash you're losing money. So when you see no tippers, a lot of times Dashers would not accept those orders because in the end it kind of messes up and they miss the opportunities to make or to get orders that actually tip and pay a decent amount. $3 really wasn't a lot, but it was alright. And but what really helped were the bigger orders where it would be longer distance, but you could get higher pay, ranging from like $7 to $10, and sometimes not even that's not even including tips. Adding on tips, you're getting about $8, $10, sometimes 12, sometimes even more. Sometimes you'll get really good tippers and really helps, but the system changed when they DoorDash decided to change it so that now they've for short slash average deliveries you make $2 instead of the 3, and for long distance orders instead of making the 5, 7 or so, now you're making 3 to 4, and that's not including tips. And a lot of times recently, and heck, probably times before, but I've noticed a lot more recently, customers have not been tipping. And so when you're getting $2 to do orders and no tip, you're wasting all your time, because the amount of time it takes to get to the restaurant, go through the line, get the food, drive off, get to the customer's place, drop the food off, and sometimes you're out of your delivery zone, so sometimes you have to drive all the way back to your delivery zone and stuff. All that for like $2, and you're kind of blowing all your time on that. And so you only, sometimes I am lucky to get done with 2-3 orders an hour, if even. Sometimes it takes longer to do deliveries because they're so far, or restaurants backed up, because a lot of times now the restaurant will not start your food until you arrive to get it. I mean, sometimes. I mean, you get restaurants that are really good at preparing the food and getting it ready for when you get there, but then you also have those restaurants that decide that they don't want to have it sit there and get cold, so they wait till you get there and then make it then, and now you're waiting on the food, you're waiting through lines, and sometimes the lines can get long, as you know, through fast food or anything else. It can be a nightmare at times, and then you have longer distance, so it takes a while to get orders done. And some people are really fast. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit slow, but I'd like to think I'm average, and I've noticed this being said with a lot of dashers, that it feels like they're only able to do a couple orders, and when you're only getting about $2, that's like, say you get 2 orders, and say by the worst luck, which a lot of times more recently you do get this worst luck where neither one of them are tips, you've made $4 in that hour. And you've, of course, blown all your gas, and gas prices, that's a whole nother video, that's a whole nother story. Gas prices are insane. So you're making less and having to pay more for gas and stuff, so it's not an equal balance. And DoorDash has made it so you cannot see the tips. You cannot see how much the customer has tipped. So for what you see, it says delivery $2 plus tip. It doesn't tell you how much the tip is, and so you don't know. The order could be $2 and then a $10 tip, $2 plus a $1 tip, $2 plus a $3 tip. You don't know, and dashers are having a problem with that, because now they can't decide what's worth it. And for something like this, you've got to know what's worth it, because if you're going through order and order and order, yeah, you could, if you're one of the lucky ones, you could hit a strike of pretty much hitting pot gold and get a bunch of good tips one after the other, but that's really relying on tips. And it's never, at least I've personally never had it where it's been really, really good like that, especially after they made this change. But you'd get a lot of no tippers or low tips, so you'd get, say, a $2 order plus a dollar tip for an order that'll take you 30 some minutes to complete. Now you've blown all your gas in line and blowing all your gas on trying to get there and all stuff, all for $3 or so. And the longer distance ones, since they changed it and now you're only getting $3 to $4, you're not getting that higher pay, like $7 now, because they've lowered it. And now you're doing these longer distance orders that'll take almost an hour to two. And keep in mind, this whole change with the whole pay was they came into the mindset you're going to be able to get a lot of orders per hour, especially with these longer distance orders. And it's like, you expect me to spend a whole hour to 2 hours for $4. Keep in mind, we cannot see what the tip is, so we could literally be doing these long distance orders for $4 in the end, or $5. You've just blown all your gas driving that far, spending all that time for $5 when you could have been doing smaller orders and made double that or so. It's really funny when the excuse they made for changing the price was that they wanted to make sure that longer distance orders are accepted and completed. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and that doesn't really make sense. Because before, you could make $7 plus for a long distance delivery, and now, no matter how long the distance is, they all kind of, instead of it before being kind of a very varying by delivery, and the farther the distance the more you made, kinda, and then the tip, now it's straight up $4 plus tip, just as long as it is considered a long distance delivery. And in my experience, it seems like they pick and choose at times from what seems like a long distance delivery to them, because it really feels like some of these deliveries have taken us like 40 minutes to complete, and you're driving all that way, spending all that gas, and it's still considered a short distance delivery. So I'm only getting $2 or so. And well, Dashers have tried to go around that system where you can't see the tips, and they've downloaded apps that would then go into the system and check and show you how much the tip is, so you know. And DoorDash has completely banned it, completely cut it off. Now those apps don't work. Now it won't tell you how much the tips are. They are that scummy that they just cut it off. You can't see. Now it's play your luck. Russian roulette with good tips. One good tip in a thing of like 50 cents. Customers get to choose how much they tip. I don't have a problem with that, but like, customers could literally put 2-cent tip, and now you're on a long distance delivery for $4 plus tip, as the app tells you, and $4.01 in the end or so. That's obviously worst case scenario, but you will run into those. And that's what I'm trying to bring awareness to. That is a problem. And Dashers need to know, if this trip they're about to make, that's going to spend 2 hours or more doing or so. 2 hours may seem like an exaggeration. I've never really calculated it, but I've just been kind of going off of my experience and what I've heard the experiences are. But like, some of them really do like take an hour to complete, and you make $4 now for that whole hour spent. And let's see. Yeah, next thing I wanted to bring awareness to was the fact that you end up spending more on gas than you receive. For instance, just the other day, I was doing an order, and it was kind of dead, but I spent about 3 hours working for DoorDash trying to get orders, and in that 3 hours, I made a total of $8.26. And it was a long delivery. I got one delivery during that whole time, and it was a long delivery. And I noticed when I looked through the thing, after you complete the order, then it tells you how much the tip was and how much DoorDash was going to pay you. Yeah, that was considered a short delivery. They paid me $2, and the customer tipped $6. $6.26 to be exact. And, it was a long delivery. I spent good time getting to that delivery after waiting forever, blowing all my gas and stuff. The amount of gas I was running on empty. I haven't had a lot of money, and that was some of the problem, and that's why I've been using DoorDash recently, is because I needed the money. Otherwise, I probably would have quit a while ago after all of this started, but I needed the money, and here I am. But and then to get the payments out per day, it takes away $2 for a fee to get it instantly into your bank account. Otherwise, you have to wait till Tuesday. Doesn't matter what day you want to take it out, have to wait till the next Tuesday to get your money if you don't want that $2 taken out, which $2 isn't a lot, but it's just kind of an annoyance, and it seems like a bit much. So that day, when I spent 3 hours and got $8.26, I ended up getting in my bank account $6.26 for 3 hours of work. That's roughly, doing the math, that's about $2 an hour. Yeah, the next point I had written down was they claim it's to make sure long distance orders are accepted. That's a bullshit fucking lie. Next page. Dang, this really sounds like an essay. Trying to make these fun, but I'm also trying to, I don't know, I want to make this informative. There will be videos I make that are more fun, more goofy, more nerd-like, and more chit-chat, just random stuff, but this is something that upset me and has upset Dashers and needed to be addressed. It needs more attention. Things need to change. So let's keep going. Another thing they're planning on doing, DoorDash, is, keep in mind they just lowered how much we're going to be paid back in June 15th, and now that's been going on for a month or so, but still, I'm a bit late to that, but it just keeps adding up. They are now planning on raising the cost for delivery fees for customers, which means customers, when they're ordering stuff, if they don't have the Dash Pass or whatever the hell it's called, they will be paying more for a delivery fee because DoorDash thinks they need more, even though they're paying their customers less. Paying their Dashers less, I'm sorry. But they think they deserve more, so they're going to raise the prices of delivery fees so that they get more in their pocket, as if lowering the pay we get so that they get more wasn't enough. Now they're still not just taking money from us, they're taking money from customers too. So it goes both ways. Both people should be upset, both customers and the Dashers. Oh, and that money is going to them. Delivery fees go straight to them. So they're making that money, as well as a portion of what you pay for your order. They work out deals with the restaurants to get a percentage of the order, and it's gotten ridiculously high. Some of them are in talks to not want to do stuff with DoorDash anymore because it's gotten so high. DoorDash is demanding a higher percentage of the order, which then lessens how much the restaurant is making, which restaurants are arguing that they're losing money that way. And I'm not someone who says, oh no, restaurants are losing money. They all make a shit ton a day, but still, it's just another thing DoorDash is doing that's kind of shitty to the customers and the Dashers. They're making more while taking more. They're taking more from us, and they're taking more from everyone. They're taking all the money they can and trying to make sure they can get the most, whereas then trying to use every excuse in the book to make sure they pay their workers, the only reason they have business, the bare minimum. Let's see, what did I have written up next? Oh yeah, another thing that's going on recently, while paying Dashers breadcrumbs, they laugh and gloat while blowing money on restaurants of their own in California. They are building their own restaurants and stuff in California and planning on going all over the country. I think they said 2 restaurants are already built, and pretty much what they're doing, they're building restaurants where they're going to hire workers or whatever to make food there so that they can spend less and not have to worry about portions of money going to these restaurants. They're making their own so that they can make a profit there. But it's kind of funny. They're lowering the pay that they pay their workers, and they try to say they don't have enough to pay us or whatever they want to use the excuse, and then they just have the money to blow on building restaurants. Gee, where did you get that money? Certainly not the money you just said we were getting paid less, and now you get that portion of what you took from us, and now you're using it to build restaurants. Why not build restaurants later after you've already focused on working and improving the conditions for your workers and treating them the best? They don't care about that. They just care about making money, while us Dashers are out doing their work. They get paid shit ton per day, while we're getting $2 an order. Wanted to bring attention to the fact that pay isn't the only reason. DoorDash has been refusing to take responsibility for some situations that have come up numerous times, and this isn't anything new. This has been here since the start. They refuse to take responsibility for their own actions, their own problems. If a customer places an order and something happens, say they have a family emergency, they've got to rush to the hospital or something, or whatever it is, and they need to cancel their order, DoorDash will not pay them back for their order. DoorDash will not refund them. They have it so that if the customer cancels the order, they don't get the money back. That money's gone. So you're paying $20 some or whatever for an order, and that's just blown if something happens and you have to cancel. Say you run into situations like I've had before, where you place an order for DoorDash and something happens and Dashers don't get it and it's taken forever for the order to come. Say you're tired of waiting and you just want to place another order. You're hungry and you want to place another order for another restaurant, but you can't cancel the order for the one you've already placed because you won't get your money back. So you just be blowing that money on top of the money now you're going to be placing on another order. You can't go out to get food because then you're blowing more money. You want to make sure this situation is handled first. So you have to wait that whole time until DoorDash decides that you've waited long enough and that the order isn't going to get done, which can be like 2-3 hours before they decide that it's been long enough to cancel your order. They got to cancel it for you. If they cancel it for you, then you get a refund, and as in their policy, it could take 2 to 3 days to get that money back. That's their policy. That's really shitty, customers should get their money back immediately if they have to cancel the order. That's their money. They didn't get food, therefore they didn't get the product they paid for. They deserve their money back. Just mentioned that one. Cannot cancel your own order. They don't give refunds, no matter the situation. And say you get your order and then there's missing items. Be prepared for a fucking headache. Be prepared for one of the biggest headaches you're gonna get. DoorDash will then try to refund you like $1 or so, and if that's not good enough, they'll say, here's $1 to apologize for your inconvenience, if they even decide to give you $1. Sometimes they won't. Or you can talk to our support and work out something with them. So of course you're not going to accept $1 if you just paid, say, $8 for a sandwich or something that you didn't get or wasn't made correctly or whatever, or is completely missing, whatever it is. You're not going to accept $1 in exchange for an $8 burger or whatever. So you contact support, and now support's talking to you, and you have to explain what happened, tell them what happened, what's going on. And with my experience and from what I've heard from other people, you have to fight to even get them to do anything. They'll apologize, they'll say sorry, and they'll offer you half or a little bit or so, and you have to fight them to get them to refund you the full amount, which is what you should get. If you didn't get that $8 burger, that's not your fault. That's the restaurant's fault, or maybe even the Dasher. Who knows? They might have snuck your food or stolen it. They might have not received the food. Who knows? It's not the customer's fault, but now the customer's going to have to pay for something they didn't get. So you have to fight and go through this ginormous headache to get them to give you your money back. Another thing that's been going on is pretty recently, a man lost $252 because of working for DoorDash. Well, maybe not because he was working for DoorDash, but like, it was while he was working for DoorDash. Mark Lee, he's a Twin Cities Dasher. He usually makes about $200 some a week. On this particular week, he had $252 saved up, and he got an order just like usual. He's an older man. He got an order just like usual, and he accepted the order. He was in the middle of doing the order, and then he got a call from what appeared to be DoorDash, and the person on the other end was like, hey, this is DoorDash, just calling to let you know that the customer, this is their first time using DoorDash, and well, they didn't mean to place the order. We're going to send you we had to cancel the order. We're going to have to send you a text. You're going to have to click the thing and sign into your DoorDash account to then get in the process of getting refunded. You'll be getting half of what you were supposed to make. But yeah, we're going to send you a text. Go click the link, blah, 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 blah. And so him not really knowing anything about the scams going around, he went to the text that was just sent to him, and he signed into his DoorDash account, and that gave the person the information to his account, and then that person then went into his account and changed his banking information to their banking information, and then they took out the $252 he saved up that week doing DoorDash. They took it all. And some people will say, well, that's his fault. He shouldn't have fallen for a scam like that, but that's not fair. I mean, he still did the work. He's an older guy, I don't know, but that's like still not right, and that's not fair to him, and he didn't know. He's just trying to do his job. He's just trying to make an honest living. He's trying to do DoorDash and deliver for them. He was just doing his job, and then had it all interrupted when this person took $250 from him that he earned, that he worked hard to get. So he contacted DoorDash, and they were all, "Oh yeah, we understand the situation. We're really sorry about that. You're gonna get a full refund. We'll get it back to you." And then he was all fine with it. He's like, "Okay, cool." So then a few weeks go by, and the 4th of July comes around. He hasn't gotten any money back from them, and so he gives them a call. He's like, "Hey, where's my money?" And then DoorDash tries to play it off as, "Oh, we have no record of you calling and any record of you mentioning any about that situation. There's nothing we can do." So, what are you going to do? You just lost $252, and the company you're working for just told you they won't help you. And they lied to your face and said you never called them, when you have proof that you did call them, and they told you you're getting a refund, and now it's weeks later and they're trying to say that never happened. So he then went to the news. He brought it to the attention to the news, and the news contacted DoorDash, and then DoorDash, spokesperson for DoorDash, then responded with, "Oh yeah, we reached out to him. We're getting him a full refund. We just want to make sure every Dasher and every person knows that we really do care about them, and that this is terrible, and that we do not accept that in our community, and we are going out of our way to fix this, and we are really sorry for what happened to him, and we are doing our best to fix the situation. And yeah, we reached out to him, and they tried to play it off as that he pretty much made it up, that he called and said that. They tried to say that they reached out to him and that they were handling it and that he was getting a full refund, and that they didn't have no record of it, that they had a record apparently, but they told him over the phone that they didn't have a record. But then when the news contacted, and now they risk public exposure and bad outlook from the media and everyone else, the public eye, now they change their tune and are all, "Oh yeah, our bad, whoopsie. We were doing our best to handle the situation." Who knows if that guy ever got refunded? The article didn't say, and I'm honestly not sure. I don't know. Probably not. He's probably still fighting. Now it's public, and now DoorDash is trying to hide it. Maybe they will fix the situation now that it's public. As I'll explain later, they only care when it's public. Another thing that happened more recently, this is something that's been big about DoorDash recently. As you may have heard, there was a while ago a police officer was almost a DoorDash driver attempted to drug a police officer. The Dasher apparently, I guess the order was from Chipotle, I believe, and the Dasher went into the food and wrote a note saying, I forget what he said, but he said something fishy, like, "Hope this tastes good," or some bullshit like that. I'll have to fact check and find out what exactly he wrote, but he wrote something and then he put it in the thing, and that it sounded like he drugged it, and then the officer reported it to DoorDash. They didn't want to do anything, but then he went to the news and made it public, and then DoorDash of course jumps on, and they don't want to risk public exposure, especially now since they're dealing with a police officer. Now they make it to the public and pretty much say the same thing they did to the other guy. "Oh yeah, we really care about our community, we really care about Dashers, this is unacceptable. The Dasher has been terminated immediately. We have his information and he's done. We are not accepting that in our community. We've also reached out to Chipotle and they are making sure they don't have anything like that again, and we're doubling down to make sure that stuff doesn't happen ever again. And yeah, we don't accept that in the community. We care about our Dashers, we care about our customers, and we are looking out for their safety." Funny you guys didn't want to do that before it was made public to the news. Kind of funny. That's not the biggest part. I experienced it firsthand. They're bullshit. My girlfriend was spending the night. We, we were thirsty. It was late at night. It was 1 in the morning. Well, not when we placed the order. It was probably midnight when we placed the order. The only thing at the time open was Taco Bell. We decided to get some Baja Blast. They had this deal for 4 drinks for $5. So we got 4 Baja Blast so that we'd have a couple for later on. And we also got some cinnamon twist things to go along with it because we thought those sounded good. So we added it to the order. We placed the order and waited. So the dasher got to the restaurant and he then calls. We placed the order on my girlfriend's phone, and so it went through to her phone. She got the call. The dasher pretty much said, "Hey, they're out of the cinnamon twists or whatever they were called that we ordered, and that he wanted to know if we still wanted to proceed with the order." Yeah, we paid. Why would we not want to proceed with the order? So she says, yeah. I don't like answering phones, so I didn't really want to answer the phone at all. And I didn't hear his voice, but Zoe did. And she says his voice was it sounded suspicious. She didn't know exactly how to describe it, but it just seemed odd. And we kind of pieced together that he was trying to get a feel for who he was delivering for. And so he, what appears to be a young woman in her 20s or younger, ordering food at 1 in the morning, perfect for him. And so we watched the way he was coming through the app, because some dashers take weird ways, but this one took a really weird back way. Like, he went a super back way around all the way to where we are, and he called her like 3 to 4 times while on his way, and then apparently he pulled up in front of the place. Now there's a parking lot on the side of our place, and where you're supposed to park or whatever, especially if you're trying to get out. And then there's the front road, which you're not really supposed to park on, especially if you're, I don't know, you're not supposed to park on the road where traffic's going to be going. But he parked there, right in front of the building, and he had what was closest access to the highway. Through this whole time, he did not turn his car off. He called Zoe, she answered, and he pretty much, keep in mind it's 1 in the morning. At this point, it's 1 in the morning. And to his knowledge, it's a young woman alone. And he pretty much said, "I'm outside, come get your food." He wanted a young woman at 1 in the morning to go outside and to get drinks and a thing. Even though DoorDash gives you the option to say leave it at the door or hand it to me, Zoe had it as leave it at the door because we don't want to, I don't know, if something happens, we don't want the dasher to waste time outside waiting for us to answer the door. And it's easier that way, just to leave it, take a picture, and walk off. That way the dasher also has proof that he made the delivery. But so he waited outside, and Zoe was too tired. She wasn't really thinking, and she said she'd meet him outside. And when she told me that she'd meet him outside, I told her, no, you're not going outside. It's 1 in the morning. For all he knows, you're alone. That is not right. You don't ask a young woman at 1 in the morning to come outside alone. But he just seemed fishy, so I peek out the front, like my kitchen window, to see his car, and yeah, he was parked out front. His car was still on, and it looked like he was messing with something in his trunk. He was wearing all dark clothes with his hood up, and so you couldn't see his face, and he was angled to the directions that when he took off, he'd have a quick access to the highway. And he was waiting out there. I don't know what he needed from his trunk. Don't think you would have gotten the food and gotten out, put it in your trunk, and then drove. so we don't know what he was doing in the trunk, but we did not go out. So after a while of waiting for him to drop the food off, he finally leaves it, but he leaves it outside, because we live on the second floor. You go in and up the stairs, and to your left, that's our apartment. I'm not sure I want to give any more information out, but that's how our apartment is set. There's a door that leads to the steps that lead to our door, and we had that all in the description so he knew. But he left it outside the door on the concrete outside so that anyone outside could see our drinks and take it if they were fast enough, but that's beside the point. But he left it out there, and he was real quick to get away because we came out, and we were out just in time to see him making his quick getaway. He ran the red light that was right down the road, and he just kept going. And it was too fast and too pitch black to see his license plate or anything, any real description on the guy. So we had no license plate. We had no real description other than dark clothing, black male, probably what looked to be, I think, 20s, 30s, get in his car, take off, and we don't even remember what kind of car it was. Like, it was pitch black. I don't remember too much. It was hard to see. And first of all, why are you calling a young woman out to meet you to get the drinks at like 1 in the morning? So that was fishy. And just the way he was handling the situation, he was by his trunk, messing with his trunk. Why do you need to be in your trunk, and why did you never turn your car off or anything if you were leaving your car? You must really wanted to get away. You were waiting for my girlfriend to go outside to meet you at 1 in the morning. I don't know. But so we get the drinks, we bring it in, and Zoe is, of course, really thirsty and tired, so she starts drinking hers, and she drinks almost the whole cup, and about 10 minutes go by, and she could barely sit on the couch. Like, I had to hold her against the couch to keep her from, like, falling off the couch. She was so out of it, she could not stand up straight. She was going side to side, going all over the place, and, like, falling and shit. Her eyes were dilated and shit, and just a real mess. And the drinks looked like it was tampered with. Because Taco Bell cups, the lid is usually on pretty tight, but on these lids you could see kind of where it kind of popped up, like as if someone had lifted a part of the lid to put something in and just kind of carelessly tried to shut it again, but didn't fully shut it. And we noticed all the drinks look like that. I didn't drink any because of what was happening to Zoe, so I wasn't going to risk it, and we needed someone who was functional to handle the situation, and she could barely sit up. So we report the situation to DoorDash, and they offered us $2. They're like, we're sorry that happened, here's $2. Or you can talk to support and have a person working at support deal with the situation. We would have called the cops, but like I said earlier, we didn't have a description of the guy, we didn't have a license plate, we didn't have anything really to work with. So we reported to DoorDash, and we were talking to customer support because we weren't going to accept $2 just to let it go. No. A dasher just tried to drug my girlfriend. We're not going to let that go. So we talked to support, and they're like, we're so sorry that happened to you. We'll look into it. We'll figure it out. We're sorry. Have a good night. Didn't ask for any information. Didn't ask for what the guy looked like or anything. Didn't ask for anything. Never heard about the situation again. And they ended the conversation, and that was it. That was the last thing we heard from them. They were done handling it. They let it go. They don't care. They didn't give a shit that one of their customers were just drugged by a dasher who probably had even worse intentions than to just drug her. I mean, why would he want her to meet her outside at 1 in the morning? Perhaps I'm thinking the worst. Perhaps we're all jumping to excuse me, I can't speak. Perhaps we're all jumping into conclusions, but it just, the whole situation seems odd and a little bit too, I don't know what the right word is, a little bit too kind of coincidental to just be a coincidence. If that made sense, if you guys are catching what I'm saying. But they just let it go, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make any more awareness to it other than what I'm doing right now. Letting you guys know, telling you guys and bringing awareness to it, and hopefully the word spreads, and hopefully this stuff gets fixed, and hopefully no one else has to go through that. Notice they just let it go when it was me, but then when an officer reports it and they take it to the public and take it to the news, then DoorDash wants to handle the situation and act like they care. But they offered us $2 and wanted us to just let it go. Oh, we didn't get the $2, by the way, because we chose to talk to support. The $2 went away. We never got that, and they just let the situation go. I don't know if it's too late to talk to Channel 7 or anything. Well, I'm going to look into it. But for now, I'm telling you guys, and yeah. So, now you guys are probably asking what happened, what was DoorDash's response to the whole boycott that happened. DoorDash is trying to cover it up. DoorDash says boycotters are the vocal minority, even though it's been proven that hundreds and maybe thousands of Dashers around the country have all taken part in this. All over the country, Dashers have stood up and took part in this boycott. I mean, every single time I checked DoorDash today, it's been nothing but super busy, very busy, really busy, and all that. And they started offering bonuses that they have not offered for quite a while. Now they're offering bonuses just to try to get people to Dash today. It was super busy all day. All day long, it was super busy. Dashers weren't working. I mean, you had some, either those who didn't care about the situation, those who didn't know about it, or heck, those who just couldn't take in it because they needed money for rent that was due on the 1st and it was the 31st or whatever situation, or they needed money for a sick family member. As I was watching a YouTube video, the guy was talking about it, and yeah, some Dashers couldn't partake in it. Some people probably didn't even know about it. Some people just didn't care, just whatever, but just. And one of the biggest things about this, they tried to come out and try to make us look like we're just bullshitting this and just boycotting for no reason. They tried to say that we are making $25 per hour. Where are you getting that information, DoorDash? How are we getting $25 an hour? Especially when I'm lucky to get, like that one day, $8.26 for 3 hours of work. When you're paying $2 an order, you'd have to be doing about 12 orders an hour of small deliveries, or 6 long distance deliveries in an hour, 6 hour-long deliveries in an hour or so. The math isn't adding up. $2 orders when you can usually get 2, maybe 3. Sometimes you're lucky to even get 2 because some of them are very, very tightly considered a short distance delivery. But how are you guys jumping to conclusion that we're getting $25 per hour? How are you getting that information? I don't know, but I don't even think I got $25 an hour back when back before this change and they lowered our pay. I don't know. I'd have to look into it, but I don't know. So they're trying to just blow it under the rug and act like it's not happening. So what do we do? What's our next step? How do we fix this? Okay, I'm going to break this down to what customers can do and what Dashers can do. First, I'm going to start with the customers. The one thing I can think of is stop using DoorDash. Grubhub, Uber Eats, other services, you can go to those. Just for now, don't order DoorDash. Stop supporting them. If you don't like how you're being treated, if you don't like how Dashers are being treated, if you think it's scummy of them to raise your prices for personal gain, and as they're previously already making a shit ton per day, if you're tired of them raising your prices, show it. Stop ordering from them. Use other delivery services. Find the cheapest other option and don't support them. Voice your thoughts online. Post about it. Make it clear you're not happy. Make it clear that you're not going to support this. Make it clear that what they're doing is shitty. Make it clear you're not going to support that. Make it clear you're not supportive of this. Don't write it off as, oh, my voice doesn't matter. No one else is going to do this. Because that's how nothing happens. When everyone goes to the conclusion that, no one's going to listen to my voice, it doesn't matter, there's probably going to be others, someone else will do it. Someone needs to start. You need to voice your side so that others can too. Because if everyone goes with the mindset of, someone else will handle it, it's like the situation where there's someone injured on the side of the street. What, are you going to walk past that person injured who needs an ambulance and go, all these other people here will handle the situation. Someone else is probably more qualified than I am. No. If everyone keeps doing that, then the person just going to be injured on the ground forever. It takes that one person to jump in and take control of the situation. This person needs help. Come help. I need someone to call 911. And it's better to go and point to someone and say, you call 911. You help me, or whatever. Silly metaphor, that's another thing, but like, you get what I'm saying. We can't all just keep playing this game of, sorry my controller died, but like, we can't all keep playing this game of someone else will handle it and act like your voice doesn't matter. We all need to be in this together. We all need to voice what we're thinking. That's the only way this is gonna get enough traction to make a difference, make a change, and make it better for others and stop this greedy company from scamming us. We all need to step up and voice our thoughts. Okay, so for Dashers, what Dashers can do: continue to boycott. This was cool. We did it for one day, and it did have a lot of, I'm pretty sure DoorDash probably lost a lot of money. As I noticed with the app, it was busy all day because orders weren't being taken care of. It's never been this busy. I was looking, and it's 3 in the morning on the 1st of August, and I was looking at like 11 at night on the 29th, not the 31st, and it was super busy. I had never seen it that busy before. And I know it usually gets a little busier at night around here, but still, it was more busy than usual. And like, I'm talking super more busy than usual. So it was cool for one day, but right now DoorDash is trying to blow it off under the rug and act like it didn't happen. They don't want to acknowledge that it's real, so we gotta hit them where it hurts, and they've gotta acknowledge it at some point. We gotta continue to boycott. We've gotta continue to stop working for them, because that's the only way that gets through them. Once they start losing a good amount of money, then they will be in negotiation to talk. businesses like this do not want to just let it slide under the rug and act like nothing happened. I mean, they they want to do that. They want to slide it under the rug and act like nothing happens. They don't want to admit they're the bad guy. They don't want to admit they were wrong. They want to keep going and make and do this shitty stuff as long as they can. So we got to continue to boycott. I believe it was Verizon, their employees and stuff boycotted for months on end and finally got a change. I don't know if that's how long this will take, but we can't let it go. This is something that really matters, and we can't just let it slide. It's something serious. We cannot just let it slide and act like it was nothing. Don't give in to the promotions and bonus bait. They, as I noticed today, they started using kind of bait. They said they started giving the promos, the $1.50 bonus, the $2 bonus per delivery or whatever. Don't give in, because that's just sending the message that, oh, we don't care as long as you just bait us with this promos and baits. Keep it the same, just as long as you keep this. But the second this all goes away, they'll take away those bonuses. So we gotta change it and make sure it's better. Voice your thoughts. Like I said before, voice your thoughts. That's the only way we're getting through this. Make it clear that you're not supporting this. Heck, worst comes to worst, leave DoorDash. Switch to other companies. Grubhub, Instacart, Uber Eats, whatever. A lot of them have wait lists right now because so many people are leaving DoorDash to go sign up for them. But if DoorDash loses all their workers, they're not going to have a business. I mean, they're going to be losing more money now because they can't keep up with the amount of customers. And then they're going to be forced to take action and draw people back. So I hope I covered everything. I hope I made everything crystal clear of what's going on and what needs to be done and why it's happening, all that. And I hope I covered everything. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think needs to happen? Do you agree that we deserve to be paid more, or do you think $2 is enough? Let us know your thoughts. Leave comments. Got any stories for what happened to you? Share them. I'd love to hear them. I love reading comments, and I wish I'd get more comments. That'd be really cool, and I'd like to hear your stories. I'd like to share support, and if you want me to tell your story through video, let me know, and I'll share your story. If you have any ideas of how to fix what's going on, please share. That would be awesome. I would love that. That's awesome. Great. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I'm going to try to keep up with making more videos. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.